say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless America. Thank you.
Some of you know me from a variety of different ways, one of which recently has been the billboards that have made a lot of stir. I, for one, am tired and have had enough of Obama's change. I believe it's dangerous for America. It's time to change what he has put forth for us. I believe it's time for us to take back our country, and I believe I'm equipped for such a time as this because I have a track record, a record of standing up, fighting some tough fights, one being against the ACLU when they tried to remove the Ten Commandments from Barrow County's courthouse, another against the IRS. I was one of 33 pastors across the nation who stood up to the IRS and some of their unconstitutional codes to restrict speech in what pastors can say politically from the pulpit.
I want to be your next labor commissioner, and I will be, as that labor commissioner, the Democrats' worst nightmare come true, an elected black conservative in the state of Georgia. I have a simple plan to get Georgians back to work that Washington can take note on and emulate across this nation. It's called the free market, free enterprise, private sector, not another failed stimulus plan, Mr. President, out of Washington, D.C. And while I'm on that subject, before I go in there, I want all of you to know, when they tell you that we are railing against him simply because of who he is, I want you to simply say, it's not your pigmentation, it's your policies we fundamentally disagree with. And the message to those that will be going to Washington, D.C. is this. We don't need more taxes, we need more taxpayers, and you do that by putting people back to work through the free market, the private sector, and the free enterprise system. Not another failed stimulus plan. We've had enough, Mr. President. November, we will flip a house. In 2012, we will clean a house and send those Democrats packing and send conservative leadership to put this country back on the right track. Thank you. Remember me.
I've been a state senator who has flat out refused to raise your taxes, even though it meant it cost me my chairmanship of judiciary by the arm-twisting bureaucrats that run your state government. I believe it's time to stand up for the innocent and defend the sanctity of innocent life, and I'm the candidate that's endorsed by the Georgia Right to Life. I also believe that the Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms, is fundamental to guaranteeing our freedom as a people against a tyrannical government, and I'm the only candidate endorsed by the National Rifle Association and GeorgiaCarry.org. But I think it's time to elect an Attorney General who will stand up to Barack Obama and the federal thugs who don't respect states' rights and say to them, we are going to enforce illegal immigration, we're going to protect our taxpayers, and we're not going to allow you to overstep your bounds and force us to buy federal health care.
And they recently had a memorial service for Dustin Inman on the 10-year anniversary of his death because of that. Mr. Gonzalez, he was released from the hospital. Dustin Inman, of course, was killed instantly, and Mrs. Inman is still suffering, and Mr. and Mrs. Inman's hearts are broken eternally because of this crime called illegal immigration. Now, you'll often hear illegal immigration advocates say, well, we can't enforce our immigration laws because we're breaking up families. Well, let me tell you about families broken up. Dustin Inman and his family, they're eternally separated from one another. The illegal immigrants that cross our borders choose to, that's their free will, to cross our borders against the immigration laws, to stay here against our immigration laws, to seek benefits against our immigration laws. These are the choices that they make. And if we send them back, it is, again, the consequence of their actions. Okay? You'll often hear columnists and pundits and everything say, well, you either have to mass deport illegal aliens or you have to give them mass amnesty. Those are false choices. There's a third option called the principle of attrition through enforcement. And what it says is when you enforce the illegal immigration laws, illegal aliens leave. How do we know that works? Look at Arizona. They're leaving. Arizona, when you read the law, there's a section that's at the beginning, and it's the intent section. And it is based on the principle of attrition through enforcement. So that's directly in the law. Okay? So it's not about race, because illegal is not a race.